Now, I'm joined by two members of the European Parliament, Cynthia Ni Morchu from the Renew Europe group and Lucas Mandl of the EPP. Welcome to you both to the show. Do you feel there was a lost opportunity here as well for the EU to take a harsher line on China in terms of concerns around human rights violations in Xinjiang, Tibet and Hong Kong, for example?
I think these issues have been raised, and I think generally it is good that the summit could have taken place. Actually, it leaves us with more questions than answers so far, but it's good that we at least know the questions now, because my approach is that we should not only talk about China, which has been done over many years on the European level. We have to talk with China as well.
But Cynthia, Lucas mentions talk, but is the problem here too much talk and too little action?
I believe you could be right. I'm more on your side in the sense of the question being posed, because I think China is dismantling the free press. I think we're seeing continuous bully boy tactics, if I could call it that, against anyone who stands up against or even questions the Chinese leadership. And we also have seen a suppression of freedom of ideas and freedom of expression in Hong Kong and other places, and of course threats to Taiwan. So I think the human rights issue is a really, really important issue, needs to be kept front and centre.
And some of your colleagues from the Parliament's China delegation were in Taiwan this week to learn about cybersecurity operations, disinformation campaigns. We don't hear a lot about that from China. Lucas, how much of a concern is this for you?
The strategic compass calls China also a partner in economic terms and also a competitor in economic terms. And this is what we have to see and to address as well. We see worldwide so-called disinformation campaigns, foreign interference, and we have to clearly observe what we also are doing in the European Union Democracy Shield Special Committee in the European Parliament. We have to clearly observe where these threats come from, and if applications like TikTok would be used to interfere within Europe, what actually has happened in Romania, for example, during the presidential elections, then we have to address that directly.
Cynthia, do we need to be talking about restricting, regulating? We talk about regulating, but do we need to go further? Do we need to talk about a TikTok ban?
Oh, we certainly need to consider a TikTok ban. We certainly need to consider all restrictions and all bans, because we do know that China hasn't played by the rules when it came to international trade. We also do know that China supported Russia in their illegal war against Ukraine, and this was in direct contradiction of Europe's interests. And I'm sure that was raised and discussed very, very vociferously at the summit.
We talk about shielding Europe's democracy, yet we've seen China's, well, alleged direct interference in the European Parliament, the heart of Europe's democracy. We've heard allegations of Chinese spies in the Parliament, and most recently of influence peddling by Huawei targeting MEPs. Shouldn't this send alarm bells ringing?
This has to be addressed very directly with the Chinese counterparts. This is completely unacceptable. If you want to seek for cooperation, then it must be excluded that such kind of interference would take place in Europe.
Thank you both for joining us.